Let's talk a little bit about this beautiful sponsorship we have, because we've got the Army National Guard back with us. And the Army National Guard believes in that the next greatest generation is right now. Right now, and back in August, the Muthead team, us, these goofballs right here, we all took a shot at predicting at what some of the NFL's next greatest generation would look like in Madden 23. Time to actually look at what they look like. We looked at Kyle Hamilton. We made some predictions, but let's take a look at what Kyle Hamilton actually looks like. These are some regs ratings on the rookie for the Baltimore Ravens. First thing that stands out for me, Ty, this was a guy who, for coming into the draft, was kind of maligned for his speed. This was a guy that nobody was saying was a burner out there. He's a safety. Doesn't necessarily need to be fast. And they come out. We thought he'd get a little boost at that 92 range. Since they're 88 speed, 86 excel, that seems a little disrespectful.
Yeah, definitely a little bit disrespectful. I think the zone coverage was the one that was a little bit off there. You know, we thought he'd be a little bit better in college. Yeah, that was a little bit disrespectful.
Zone coverage.
Now, Nick, I will play the argument here that he hasn't looked too great in the NFL so far. We saw last week, Tyreek, Waddle, they did some damage to this Ravens defense. I think it's early, though. Kyle Hamilton is going to bounce back. Obviously, the hit power right there, same pretty much 85, 83. He's young. He's early. He's got a great opportunity, too, with a great coaching staff. I think he'll really develop. But, yeah, you see some of these ratings here, pretty close to the hit power, but the zone coverage, 68, I don't know about that one.
Here's all I'm saying. I think we saw this last week. We may see it next week if you're with us. One of the things that we've seen here in Madden 23, these rookie ratings were really tampered down. We didn't see any 82, 83 overall rookies coming in. They really tampered expectation. You're seeing it with some of the ratings with Kyle Hamilton at 68 zone, 72 man, 76 pursuit. Like, these are all just sort of early Madden ratings where they went, listen, we're going to make these rookies prove themselves before we give them some top ratings.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't necessarily mind it, right? We saw the same thing last week when we did Malik Willis, but give these guys a chance. And now you get the roster updates too every Thursday. So throughout the season, obviously if they improve, we'll see them increase every Thursday throughout the season. So a little bit light on Kyle Hamilton, I will say, but I definitely expect him to improve throughout his rookie season with the Ravens.
I think one of the big things you're seeing with this Baltimore Ravens team is going to be something to watch is the impact of not having Wink Martindale calling that defense anymore. Wink Martindale moving over to the New York Giants. The Giants defense has looked really good. Baltimore's been a little up and down. We know what they can do offensively, but can Kyle Hamilton be a piece for this defense that solidifies the back end and can bring them back to maybe winning division, maybe challenging for a Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's the big question, because we saw last week versus the Dolphins. They can put up points. You got Lamar, you got Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman's coming along, but the big question mark is that defense. It's just not the same as it's been with Wink Martindale, like you said. Secondary has struggled a little bit, but Kyle Hamilton's a guy you can use all over the defense, right? You can put him at safety, you can even put him at sub-linebacker. Like I said earlier, I do think he's a guy that's going to develop throughout the year and really become a weapon for this defense. So they can use him all over the field. He can make plays, try to get the Ravens over the hump, but I don't know, Nick, your Browns with Jacoby Brissett back there looking pretty good. So the Browns might be the favorite in that division right now, but I think the Ravens at the end of the season, they'll be right in the mix as well.
Jacoby Brissett is really good at turning around and handing the ball to Nick Chubb. That's his job. Turn around, and guess what? When Nick Chubb's not on the field, 3 months back there. Go give him the ball. The interesting thing about Kyle Hamilton, Ty, also, remember, this was a guy who we heard at points leading up to the draft, he could go top 3. This was somebody who was in the talks for the number 1 overall. He falls down the board a little bit, and we saw those ratings kind of, it shows what he can bring to the table. Maybe not the best combine we've ever seen, but in Baltimore, with John Harbaugh, he's going to find an opportunity to get some reps in there, and he's going to get a chance to really bump up not just his Madden rating, but his salary in the NFL. We could see him really solidify a Ravens defense for a while.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's still kind of a freak athlete, too. Has great size, good speed. We thought the speed would be a little bit better, but still early, and they can use him all over the field. Like you said, we've seen the ways these guys in these Ravens defense have evolved throughout the years. And the first year in the system, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Like you said, John Harbaugh, these guys on defense, they're going to find ways to utilize Kyle Hamilton to the best of his abilities. And they're probably not going to figure it out the first 3 weeks, probably not going to figure out the first 6 to 8 weeks. But by the end of the season, if the Ravens get a chance in the playoffs, I think Kyle Hamilton will be a difference maker.
That is our look at the NFL's next greatest generation, presented by the Army National Guard. The next greatest generation is now.